Let me begin with the first topic here for today's class here. There's statistical models for feeding channels. Okay, so there are many probability distributions are there here that are being taken into consideration for understanding regarding the statistical characteristics here. Okay, or any kind of statistical assumption of the fading channel here. Okay, so before that, let us try to understand what is the definition of this statistical model here, right? So statistical model is nothing but here it's a kind of an again a mathematical model here based on certain data and numbers here. Okay, so based on the it is considered as a mathematical model and a set of certain statistical assumptions together. Okay, so what we can do is we can generate a certain sample data here. Okay, with the help of certain sample data here, we can make certain predictions about the real world here. Okay, that is what is our statistical model we can consider, or you can say statistical modeling you can consider, right? Okay, so what I'll just define once again here. It is nothing but here it is a mathematical model together with certain statistical assumptions here, so that you could generate certain sample data, and using that sample data we are able to predict about certain situation in the real world here. Okay, that is what is statistical modeling you can consider here. Okay, now what is this statistical model you can consider? Now that is nothing but here it is a collection of probability distributions here of all possible outcomes of an experiment here. Okay, it is a collection of probability distributions on all the possible outcomes of an experiment. That is statistical model here. Okay, usually these models what they tell us is they try to tell us the relationship between two or more variables here, right? That's what they are going to that's what they're going to tell us here. Okay, now uh, in this kind of an what you can say feeding channels here, how exactly our statistical models helps us to understand this feeding channel here, right? So usually when we concentrate on this particular feeding channel here, what is going to happen? There are large number of skaters will be there here. So initially what happens here is that from signal which is going to be traveling from transmitter to receiver here, within this period what is going to happen, there will be a large number of scatters will be there here. So hence what you have to do here is, if at all we wanted to have the perfect signal to be received with the receiver here, so we need to apply something called a central limit theorem here. Okay, so what is the central limit theorem here? Okay, that is nothing but here it is it describes the shape of distribution of the signal here. Okay, remember here the central limit theorem will let us know regarding how exactly our the shape of the distribution is there here. Okay, how exactly our signal has been distributed with certain shape here, right? Okay, suppose if at all we got that means here if at all we got the larger samples here. Okay, samples which we were having is large, means we'll have a distribution in a very large manner here. Okay, if at all we don't have whatever the data or samples is less availability is there, hence we are not able to define the shape of the distribution here. Okay, right. So usually this particular central limit theorem is utilized to measure the accuracy of whatever the data we are having here, right? Central limit theorem tries to let us know regarding the accuracy of many statistics you can consider here, or many data here. Okay, so this particular central limit theorem leads to a Gaussian process model for the channel impulse response here, right? So now if this process is zero mean, that means the mean is equal to zero, and then the envelope at time instant, if at all we have an envelope, okay, at that instant of a time, if at all we have this Rayleigh probability distribution here, okay, then what is going to happen, the phase is uniformly distributed in the interval 0 to 2 pi here. Okay, okay, that has been given in this case here, that is relay distribution is characterized by a single parameter here. Here, see, only the single parameter it has been utilized here, that is omega here, right? Okay, so now there are many statistical models are there here, okay, but regarding the relay distribution which you have considered here is nothing but it is a continuous probability density here for only non-negative values will be there here. Okay, it's going to, that means it is going to apply it for the positive random variables only here, right? Okay, so what is exactly the use of this relay distribution is, so usually this kind of a relay distribution will be taken into consider here where there are multiple paths are there for a signal to travel from one place to another place here, but reaching the receiver at one place here. Okay, multiple transmitting paths will be there here, or multiple transmitters will be there here, but it is going to be received at a single point here, that is the receiver here. Okay, now one more point that we have to understand here is it is often observed when the overall magnitude here, okay, is related to directional components here. Okay? In that cases, this particular real distribution is applied here. Now there is another statistical model called as Nakagami here. Okay, it is called as Nakagami distribution or Nakagami M distribution here. Okay, M. Okay, so now there are again here also it is related to the gamma distribution here, Nakagami, right? Okay, so it is having two parameters here. One is a shape parameter, another one is a controlling spread here. Okay, so shape parameter is represented by a small m here. Okay, in this Nakagami M distribution here, M should be always greater than the half here, that is 50% here. And controlling speed is nothing but whatever we have described in the Rayleigh distribution, that is omega, that is a single parameter. No, here it is a second parameter here. Okay, now usually this kind of an what you can say that distribution, Nakagami distribution, is utilized where there is a attenuation of the wireless signals is there while traveling from what in multiple paths here, right? So usually this distribution provides a more flexibility and accuracy in matching the observed signal statistics here. This particular statistic here, I mean statistical model here, that is Nakagami M distribution or Nakagami distribution here. Okay, it also provides the best fit for data signals received in what you can say that urban radio multipath signals here. Okay, now this is what the understanding of two statistical models are there. There is another one here. I just wanted to let you know. There is Rice distribution here. What is this Rice distribution? This is also a kind of a what you can say that two parameter distribution here. Okay, this is also again probability distribution will be there here for the magnitude, but here we are going to consider circular symmetry here. Okay, circular symmetry here. So that's why it is there are two parameters again. It is S and sigma square here. S parameter is non-centric or you can say non-centrality parameter here. It represents the power in the non-feeding signal components here called spectral components of the received signal here. Okay, so these are the what you can say that the three what you can statistical models here which are used for uh, understanding the feeding channels here. Okay,